Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 6 of Campus Gridiron, where me, Lennon, and special guest Michael Cartosa will be giving our predictions for Week 5, talking about some Week 4 games. We have some transferring news, some injury news. The Gators are on their bye week. Lennon can kind of give us a check-in on that as they are 2-2. Oh boy. We got the game of the year, gentlemen. 4th-ranked Alabama hosting 2nd-ranked Georgia. We will get into our official game predictions later on. Oh boy, we got a good week of college football ahead of you. Lennon, let's begin with the Gators winning against Mississippi State. It was a pretty dominant victory. Graham Mertz, 3 touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground. Unfortunately, we don't have Drew today, but I kind of wish we did to tell him we were right. What you do is you start the senior quarterback and you just let him ride it out the rest of the year.
Yeah, Lagway's great, but he's a true freshman. And why would we put our true freshman in a spot to fail? Now, he played great and we could score, but Mississippi State sucked. So Lagway went like 4 for 3 or something like that. He did good too, but Mertz should be the starter throughout the year unless he completely forgets how to play against UCF next week. But
That could happen.
Could happen.
We're going to talk about that one for sure. Because that game is obviously a soft spot for me. Obviously, Gators are my SEC team, second favorite team in all of college football behind Boston College. But, I got a soft spot for UCF too, man. Shout out to Blake Bortles, Latavius Murray, Gabe Davis. A lot of guys went to University of Central Florida.
Yeah.
Mike, your team is coming off a dominant. You know what? It is a great thing that we don't have Drew on here because he'd be yelling at you. So, listen, guys, Mike is a Miami fan because of his father. He's been watching the Hurricanes since when? Like the Ed Reed era? Goodness. It's been a while.
Yeah.
And he is following his father's footsteps and liking the Miami Hurricanes. This is the first year in my 3 years on campus where he is finding time to fit the Hurricanes in his schedule. And let me tell you something. He was thoroughly impressed with their 50-10 rout of South Florida last Saturday. I mean, I only watched the first half with you, but what the hell went wrong in the second half for South Florida?
We just started to run the ball efficiently. Offensive line was doing great, and Cam Ward finally came alive with his 300 yards plus and 3 touchdowns through the air. I mean, like Cam Ward was in – where was he before?
It was in Washington State.
Yeah, Washington State, and then comes to Miami and becomes basically this amazing quarterback that I think would also be a very good quarterback in the league if he does go to wherever he is.
All Sports News put Cam Ward as number 1 on the Heisman watch chart. We'll see how that develops. Let's get into some recaps. And we're going to recap a couple of games from last week. Usually we go in depth about a bunch of games. This week, there was only really 3. I was also really busy on Saturday, so I couldn't really post much. But this was probably the best game of the bunch. That was 18th ranked Michigan beating number 11 USC at home 27-24. I know, Lennon, both of us picked the Trojans last week. We weren't really giving Michigan a fair chance. We didn't know if the quarterback change was going to do anything. Well, it certainly did do something, although it was senior running back Khalil Mulligan's rushing for 132 yards. What was your overall takeaway on this game, and where do the Trojans moving forward?
I was very surprised. Michigan needed that win after getting embarrassed by Texas a couple weeks ago. So good for them. They came to play. And I told you, I said the quarterback change could make a difference, but I didn't think it would. But then I was reminded that USC is from the Pac-12, and we all know how the Pac-12 has no defense. So that's exactly what happened.
Common trend.
USC will be fine. I mean, their offense can score. It's just their defense can't stop anybody. I think the Trojans will be fine. Michigan looks like they found their quarterback. He looked really good too. So it's going to be interesting to see how they finish out this year. But that was a much-needed win in Ann Arbor for the defending national champion.
Certainly was. Michigan now improving to 3-1. The Trojans drop to 2-1. I kind of thought that USC was kind of riding high after that huge momentum week 0 win over LSU. So, I mean, they definitely looked impressive. And I know we all love our boy, what's his name? Mason Miller?
Miller Moss.
Miller Moss.
That's one of the greatest.
He really did not play that great.
Yeah.
Trojans played it close in the second half, but I think Michigan had the ball last, and that's how they capitalized.
When I watched it out of the game, I picked Michigan to win, mostly because I think if they got the running game going, they would win, and they did get the running game going, and they ended up winning.
Yeah, they went like 74 yards with like under a minute left right down the field and scored the game-winning touchdown. Yeah. So all on the ground. They picked up like half of it on a whatever run by the running back. So I saw the end of that one. I was like, oh, damn. I picked USC. Like, oh, man, they let me down.
Oh, boy. We'll get into our predictions. Both London and I finished below 500.
Uh-huh.
And I think I have the overall record lead, which is...
Yeah, I blew it. I think you're up by 2.
But we're not playing no more Mr. Nice Guy because that's okay. You weren't the only one to make a stupid prediction last week. I, for whatever reason, thought Boomer Sooner, and they just plummeted straight into the ground and they sucked. And Tennessee showed that they were legit. This was their first road top 15 win since 2006, and they look pretty dominant defensively.
Yeah. So this was a good thing and a bad thing because I hate University of Tennessee, obviously. I also hate Oklahoma with every single fiber of my being. So I was really happy the Sooners lost. I hate to say it, but Tennessee looks really, really, really good. I mean, everywhere. Their quarterback, their offense, their defense. Vols look legit, and they still got to play Bama and Georgia, I'm pretty sure. So, or one of those. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. But, yeah, dude, I'm not looking forward to play Tennessee in 2 weeks. So.
That's on the road, right?
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh.
We're not winning in Neyland. We're not winning in Neyland, but.
Well, hey, then that makes that UCF game pretty much a must-win to kind of stick with the 500 record.
I live in Orlando, and I did not want to. I'm not showing my face if we lose to UCF. I'm not doing it. I'm 45 minutes away from UCF. I'm not. No, that's not happening.
So you're telling me is 2 weeks if they lose, you're just going to film with your camera shut off?
Maybe, yeah.
Or the paper bag idea.
Or the paper bag. Oh, I should do that.
That would be smart. Damn. Low key, I might do that if Boston College loses tomorrow. Oh, dear. I'll have to find a paper bag. I don't know where I'll have one. Anyways, Tennessee won handily. And last but not least, I stayed up until 2 a.m. to watch this, by the way. I'm a madman. Yeah, so who had BYU winning 38-9?
Not me.
I would have picked Kansas State if we picked that game.
Oh, 3-0 versus 3-0. The Wildcats straight up sucked. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Listen, I like Johnson, the quarterback for Kansas State, but he was doing way too much with the football. He is trying to run for first downs. He is trying to fit balls in unimaginable places. I'm like, what are you doing? Just sometimes it is best for the quarterback to take the check down, take the slant, take the curl. Stop trying to play Superman in the second quarter when you're down by 14. Like, develop a drive. That was Kansas State's problem, is that their offense was so out of sorts. And BYU capitalized on the mistakes. That punt return touchdown.
God.
Go watch that highlight if you haven't already. BYU's punt return touchdown last week. The returner muffed the punt, ran backwards 7 yards, found a lane, and returned it like 93 for a touchdown. It was bizarre.
Yeah, that was I watched a little bit of that game, and then saw I walked away for some reason, and I came back, and BYU was up by like a million. I said, okay, well, I'm going to bed. But I was able to catch the punt return. I said, oh my god, that was one of the best punt returns I've ever seen in a really long time in college and professional. So
I would love to show the clip, but YouTube would definitely be assholes.
yeah,
and
we'll get
copyright
up.
me, so.
Just watch
go
the
look it up
highlights.
on Twitter and
Yeah.
it'll pop up. Oh my god,
That
though.
was
So now
insane.
BYU is 4-0. Were they ranked heading into this week? I thought they were. Let me go quickly check, because, I mean, if you embarrass the 13th best team in the country, I feel like you should be ranked, and you're still going to be undefeated and everything. So I'd be shocked if they weren't. Yes, they are.
Second.
They are ranked 22nd. They will be on the road against the Baylor tomorrow, Baylor Bears. So
Baylor Bears.
that'll be interesting. So, who would have saw BYU would be 5-0, and we'll get to another team that could surprisingly start the year 5-0 when we do our predictions. But I mean, wow, Kansas State, that was humiliating loss. Now, granted, they're probably fine and they'll probably finish the year like 9-3. But I mean, this was a pretty damning loss for that program.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh damn.
This game was really the definition of doing too much.
Way too much. Again, sometimes when you're behind, you can't play hero ball. You just got to make the comeback.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, dear God. You know, UNLV is literally playing Syracuse in like a half hour. And to my knowledge, they still have not announced a starting quarterback. Why, you may ask? Because their senior quarterback, Matthew Slaka, he announced he is entering the transfer portal. He's leaving immediately. UNLV 3-0. He's thrown 6 touchdowns to 1 interception this year. Oh no, greed is corrupting college football.
It's going to take everything in me not to go on a rant here, because I hate the way NIL is run. Like, look, and it's so stupid, dude. Like, I loved college football more than professional because the players were loyal to their universities. That's not happening anymore. There's no loyalty. It's all about money, and it's whoever has Texas is going to get the best players. Alabama's going to get the best players. Georgia's going to get it's just ridiculous, dude. And he's having such a great freaking year, and UNLV could potentially sneak into the top 12 if they could, but I don't think they're going to anymore because he left the midseason. But that's just, if I'm a UNLV fan, if they have any, I'm pretty upset at the quarterback. And NIL is stupid the way it's run. Like, I talked about this at the end of the show last year. I'm all for them making money off jersey sales and the video game. That's fine. It shouldn't dictate where you go play college football. You're like 19, 20 years old. You don't need $1.5 million. It's ridiculous.
He was upset because UNLV only gave him allegedly $3,000 instead of the $100,000 he was promised, and that's why his father got involved. But let me tell you this: it was apparently a verbal agreement. If you are dealing with $100K, you're not going to put pen to paper?
Yeah, that's on him. I didn't know it was a verbal agreement. Yeah,
it was a verbal agreement, all right.
If there
Ridiculous.
If there is no contract signed, then UNLV is not liable for anything. It's he said, she said. So that's so ridiculous, man. Oh my god.
You can go, Len. If you want to bring this to court or whatever, it's not going to work out for him because, again, like you said, it's the he said, she said, whatever thing, and it's just not going to work out well at all.
Yeah, no, it's not. This is dumb, dude. I honestly laughed when I saw the headline pop. I was like, wait, what? And when the transfer portal is already screwed up too, because you can go to 4 schools in 4 years, which is stupid. It needs to go back. So you can only transfer once, and you have to sit out a year. They need to put me in charge of everything. I'll make it right. But yeah, no, dude.
Friggin' Charlie Baker. He was the former mayor of Massachusetts. You think he knows what he's doing? No, that's not the point.
No, it's it's just no money. These kids don't need hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars in sponsorship deals. They don't know what they're doing.
Be like us. Be like us average college folks and just pay off your student loans as they come.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't need $100,000 guaranteed to determine which school I go to.
And if you're good, you're gonna get paid in the NFL anyway. So like, why you don't need that much? Like it's even NFL players get paid and they stop caring. Like it's ridiculous, dude. Like I watch college football because the loyalty and it's not there anymore. So it's making it really hard though. I mean, I'm still gonna watch.
NFL, greater. Anyways. Yeah, I mean, then college, you also get taunting penalties.
Yeah.
All right, before we get into game predictions, and thank you, Lennon, for coming up with a brand new idea of Jersey of the Week. We'll get to that. We started that last week. That was super cool. Let's begin with some injury news. 2 headlines this week. LSU junior linebacker Harold Perkins Jr. He tore his ACL. He's going to be out the rest of the season. And Lennon, I know you brought this up to my attention, but you think he is one of the best linebackers in college football.
Oh, yeah, dude. He's the reason LSU beat South Carolina a couple weeks ago. He made a lot of defensive stops. He's a freaking amazing dude. He's so fun. He was so fun to watch. So I hope he can come back next year. I don't know what he is.
You know, now you play a risky game, of course. Like, if you have your draft stock, do you bite the bullet and go into the league, or do you hold back, play senior year in hopes to not get hurt again?
Yeah, that's
a risky game you play.
Yeah, it is, and we'll find out at the end of the year. But that's definitely a huge loss for the Tigers defense. He's the captain or the leader of the defense, and probably their best player on defense too. So. I think LSU will be fine. I mean, they look pretty good, even without Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors and everybody. So,
they thoroughly handled UCLA last week.
Yeah, I figured that was gonna happen.
UCLA is kind of overhyped, but getting off topic.
But that's not, if you're a Bayou Bengal, that's not exactly what you want to see. So. But I wish him well. Hope he gets back soon, though. But the good news is we don't have to deal with him in November. So.
Okay.
We're gonna lose anyway. It's all right.
Oh, don't worry. It definitely will be.
Haven't beat LSU since 2018.
Really? Jesus, I didn't even know it was that long.
Yep.
Oh, boy. Well, now we're on to Boston College news. Just announced 4 hours ago that Thomas Castellanos will be inactive for tomorrow's game against Western Kentucky. Thank God I didn't buy tickets on Monday like when I was planning to. So now we have Grayson James. He will be starting in place of the injured Castellanos against the Hilltoppers tomorrow, 12 o'clock at Chestnut Hill. This is a transfer from FIU. He was guaranteed the backup role when committing to Boston College, and it should be interesting to see how he plays well. He was a highly recruited quarterback, and he was probably like the 3rd or 4th best transfer Boston College got this offseason. So it's going to be interesting to see Grayson take over the role. Obviously, interesting to see how Coach O'Brien deals with the change at quarterback. I'm pretty sure him and Castellanos have pretty similar play styles. So it shouldn't be too much of a difference. But, I mean, Boston College playing it down to the wire last week against Michigan State. And the Hilltoppers are just as good as the Trojans are. So we will see what happens this week. But, Lennon, what are your expectations now for Boston College heading into the game against Western Kentucky tomorrow?
I mean, there's still this. I mean, realistically speaking, you guys should still win.
That's what I'm thinking.
But again, is it safe to say he's your best player on the team? Is that a fair statement to say?
I don't think so.
Or yeah, maybe not. Or he's the centerpiece of the offense, I guess we'll
Yes.
call it. But yeah, that's going to be. I don't know much about your backup. I
figured you wouldn't. I only
have
the
no
name
idea.
only rang a bell when he transferred here. I haven't heard of him since.
Yeah, I don't really watch South Florida football, so no offense, but no, I think you guys will be okay though. I mean, there's no reason you guys to lose to Western Kentucky, especially at home. But it's any given Saturday, and we'll find out tomorrow. But
It was fun catching the game-winning touchdown against Michigan State with 1.5 minutes remaining last week. That was super exciting. I don't know when Castellanos got injured. Maybe he's just been trying to practice through a nagging injury all week.
Yeah, or he also could have got hurt in practice.
Did they say hurt in practice? Like I said, it was only announced 4 hours ago that he was going to be inactive. It seemed like he was on track to start all week, despite being questionable on the injury report. So interesting. Grayson James will be making his Boston College debut. Oh, God, watch out. I could be ranting and raving about my second Boston College quarterback this year. This could be the Boston College version of DJ Legway. What do I know?
We'll find out, man. We'll find out.
I don't know, Mike. What do you think? Boston College still has tomorrow's game in the bag?
I think they still do. I mean, like Grant said, he's a highly recruited quarterback. They could go either way. It's not always correct, but he does seem like a good quarterback from what I've kind of seen, like his highlights a little bit from when he played in FIU. That's pretty good there. And, I mean, as long as he can lead the Boston College offense to what they were, I think they should probably win.
Yeah, I agree. You guys should.
It's nerve-wracking, though, because, if we lose, we got 2 losses, and that pretty much kills a shot of being in the top 25 for the rest of the year, so.
No, it definitely.
It's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking for sure.
Especially being Boston College in the ACC too, which you got Miami, Louisville's probably the.
We're playing Miami, Syracuse, and North Carolina, and Pittsburgh all late in the year.
Well,
the Boston College schedule is about to ramp up drastically.
I didn't want to bring it up being a North Carolina fan, but I don't want to talk about what happened against James Madison.
I didn't have time to post that game, so that's why we didn't talk about it. But I mean, allowing 70 points.
Oh my God! Fam, that was. I was watching.
Our friend Kyle, of course, big fan of the channel. His high school teammate is the James Madison kicker.
Oh,
and he was going ballistic when he saw that 2-point conversion throw.
That was
He was when Kyle was a sophomore in high school. James Madison's current kicker was a senior. So
that's cool.
So
man.
Kyle knows him, and I'm trying to
cool.
get Kyle on one of these episodes, but neither here or there. And I'm sure he'd be more than happy to talk about him and any interactions he may have had with him back in high school. But he was freaking out because he's former high school teammates with the James Madison kicker. And he's like, did he throw a 2-point conversion? I need to see it. And it was so exciting. So, I'm sorry, bro. I don't know what the hell North Carolina's defense is doing, but you'll be all right.
I brought it up because I think Boston College can beat North Carolina. So you don't got to worry about it.
Yeah, it's in Boston College. Dude, just come on down. Come on down. You won't. You won't.
You're right. I won't. I don't like Boston.
Boo. Only like a 3-hour flight, exactly. All right. On to Jersey of the Week. Oregon. We were joking about this, too, before stream. Me and Lennon think Oregon and Ole Miss are going to dominate this list. Boise State and UCF as well. This is giving me a lot of Packers / South Dakota State vibes, but it's good. It works with the green, the yellow trims, and the all-white uniforms. It works for Oregon.
The only thing I don't like is I love the Oregon wing jerseys without the wings on the side.
Yes.
And they haven't wore those yet this year. So, but I think I saw an Oregon fan say they're going to wear them next weekend. So, Oregon will probably take it back to back unless Ole Miss drops the freaking banger uniform combination. But I mean, Oregon has the best uniforms. It's not even close, dude. It's not. Everyone's different. My favorite's the all yellow from a couple of years ago. The all with the winged helmet too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this
It
is
was just weird when Oregon was coming out with like those like black jerseys with like pink numbers.
they do that for
That
press
was
conference.
crazy. I mean, like
House
it's cool and it's like majestic to look at, but at the same time, it's like, what the fuck? It's like what? Like what does pink numbers have to do with Oregon?
They do it for breast cancer awareness.
Oh,
Week.
of
That's what the
course,
pink
that
is
would
for.
make sense.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the one we're getting in October. I've seen like they always do.
Mm.
Even I think the pink and the black go good together though.
Oh no, it does.
Right.
I'm just saying it just didn't make sense until you just said that. Now it makes
Breast cancer
complete
awareness.
sense.
Yeah, so they'll probably wear those again in October. But yeah, Oregon. Let's see. I don't know who they play this week, but I don't
They're
know.
gonna win. They're gonna win big. Dylan Gabriel, baby.
I don't know why I picked Oregon State last week.
That was dumb. Oh yeah, they're playing UCLA at 11 p.m. Okay, well,
Okay.
they're making me stay up again. These damn 11 o'clock games. Well, because if UCLA upsets, I gotta post it at 2 a.m. I'm Oregon, please blow them out by 35 by halftime, so I don't have to stay up. Please and thank you. Okay.
Don't worry, buddy. You won't have to post that. You won't have to post the upset.
We were just dogging on UCLA. Watch them freaking beat Oregon now. I was like, okay, well, nice. I poked the wrong bear.
Literally,
fully intended.
UCLA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name.
Pun fully intended. All right, are we ready for week 5 predictions? I feel like we've been flying this episode. We are in a little bit of a time crunch, but
yeah.
We could slow it down a little bit because it is prediction time.
Well, it's week 4, technically speaking.
Week 5, technically speaking.
Well, it's true because we did.
I don't make up the damn rules here. Let's just quickly see, Lenny. You could quickly look up your record. My record last week was 2-3, giving me a whopping 14-10. Yuck.
Oh, we're tied again. Oh, thank God. Okay,
I'm 14 we're tied.
Yeah. I went 3-2 back-to-back weeks, or 2-3. Sorry, I went 2-3 in back-to-back weeks.
I went 2-3. Although the week before that, week 3, I went 4-1. That really helped me out. I would have went 5-0 if I wasn't biased, and of course picked Boston College. And then, you can look back at the predictions. Like I picked Tulane over Kansas State. I picked Texas A&M over Notre Dame. Well, guess what? We can't reflect on the past because the future is tomorrow. Let's begin with Kentucky on the road against 6th-ranked Ole Miss. This is a good old-fashioned SEC Donnybrook. Realistically, Kentucky probably gets destroyed because if they couldn't beat Georgia, how the hell are they going to beat Ole Miss? But Lennon, take it away. Maybe you have some insight I'm missing.
Kentucky is we all know what Ole Miss has, right? Ole Miss is probably one of the best teams in the SEC this year. Kentucky is confusing. Okay, they beat Southern Miss. They get smacked in the face by South Carolina. And then they turn around and almost beat Georgia and only lost by 1. This game is going to be a lot closer than people think it is, but experience and coaching, Ole Miss takes it late.
I'll go 42-28 Ole Miss in this one. It's going to be relatively high scoring, I feel.
I think it's going to be closer than that.
Really? I'm giving Kentucky the benefit of the doubt, only putting a 2-possession gap there.
Yeah. Listen, Georgia and Ole Miss are pretty much about the same, in my opinion. You guys can take that how you want it.
That's crazy.
It was in Kentucky, and Georgia does always struggle early in SEC play, so you can throw that in. I think Kentucky will be all right, but Ole Miss is going to win this football game.
All right, Mike, you have anything you want to say? You think Ole Miss is winning by 50?
I don't think Ole Miss is winning by 50, but I don't think they're winning. I think they're going to win pretty handily. I mean, every single team they played so far, besides I think one, they basically dominated. And obviously, like Lennon said, coaching experience, that goes a long way, a lot longer than a lot of people, I think, understand.
So we're all picking Ole Miss here.
Yep, but I got it close.
Mike, if you go undefeated on your picks, you're literally coming back on next week. I don't care. I don't care. We need a brainiac of the bunch. All right, moving on. This one's interesting. First ranked matchup of the week. 16th ranked Louisville going up against 15th ranked Notre Dame. It's going to be in Notre Dame. And I think the last time Notre Dame was at home was, never mind. Before last week was the North Illinois game. They won at home last week. They're kind of bouncing back. They've won 2 in a row. Obviously, they absolutely slaughtered Purdue in week 3. But Louisville comes in as probably the best team in the ACC behind Miami. So this one's going to be an interesting one. I don't know. London, take it away.
Yes, Louisville is the best team in the ACC behind Miami. I think that's pretty handled. Anyway, his reaction when you said best team in the ACC was hilarious. He looked
behind Miami, Jesus.
Behind Miami. That was great. But this is going to be a really good game. Notre Dame got embarrassed by Northern Illinois, and then they decided to beat up on Purdue because Purdue's never had anything good. I think Louisville's going to win this game, though. Just being on the road is going to be tough, but I think the Cardinals are the better team. So give me Louisville by 3. I think that game goes down to the wire.
I'm gonna say one possession game pretty much the whole way through. I'm gonna go with the Cards winning by 7.
Yeah, likewise, I'll go Cardinals. I mean, Notre Dame, they did beat by like 70, was it? Or they put up 70. But even like at that point, I think they might have used up all their gas that game, and they're kind of slowing down recently. And Louisville is the only, Louisville's been heating up while Notre Dame's cooling down. So I think Louisville just keeps that momentum against Notre Dame and wins it by, I'd say, 7.
This is kind of a tune-up game, too. This is where Louisville's schedule really picks up here. Next week, they have SMU at home. That's always a tough game. Then Virginia on the road. And then this kind of 3-week gauntlet, they have Miami at home, Boston College on the road, Clemson on the road.
Ooh.
So Louisville's schedule in the middle of October into the second week in November, it's really going to ramp up here. This Notre Dame game is going to show a lot, determining how well this team may or may not play down the stretch. But you can't overlook an opponent. And, of course, when you're 15th going up against the 16th best team, it's pretty much an even matchup. But even though Notre Dame is at home, I'm going to go Louisville wins by 7. Again, wouldn't really be shocking if Notre Dame won. It wouldn't, and this win would honestly kind of put them back in the map and show that Northern Illinois loss was, in fact, a fluke. But, if they go out and they get dominated and Louisville wins by a couple of possessions, then Notre Dame probably isn't ranked for the rest of the season. So Notre Dame season pretty much is hanging in the balance, I'd say, in this game, and that's going to be a close one.
Oh, yeah. This should be a really fun game to watch.
Moving forward, this Illinois team, Lennon, we messed up greatly.
Yes, we did.
We were convinced Utah's winning by 4. Oh, God, we couldn't have been more wrong.
Yeah.
Illinois, they are looking good. They have improved from the 24th ranked team last week to the 19th ranked team this week. But they are going on the road against number 9 Penn State. And one of the quarterbacks that I think should be winning the Heisman, or at least be in the Heisman conversation, Drew Aller. So we'll go Mike first on this one, but I think this is the one week I'm going to be confident in rooting against Illinois.
Yeah. I mean, Illinois is always that team that kind of like is low ranked, but they're always good for some reason. But going into Penn State, which is probably one of the hardest stadiums to play in, and Penn State's always been very good, usually like top 15. I would probably go Penn State here too, maybe by like 10, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, like their defense to me is amazing.
Of course, the last time Illinois was at Penn State, they had the 9 overtime classic in 2020, where Illinois did win that game. So
I remember.
have happened in Happy Valley before, but what does London think?
Illinois is looking really, really good. I mean, they beat Nebraska last week in the great game, or 2 weeks ago in the great game. They're playing in Happy Valley. Like, it's not Penn State. I've never been, but I would love to go to a White Oak, and I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But like I said, Illinois won in 2020 with like no fans in the stands. It's gonna be sold out, and so give me the Nittany Lions. Close. But
I'm gonna go Nittany Lions by 6. I think this is gonna be first half is gonna be all defense. Second half, the offenses are gonna show up a little bit. I think Penn State wins this game by just pounding the rock down Illinois' throat. It seemed like Illinois, especially against Utah, was very efficient against the pass, where against the run, not so much. So I think if Penn State just pounds the rock, get into red zone opportunities, they should come away with this win. I am at the Fighting Illini win this game. I am picking them the rest of the year. I'm sick and tired of picking against this damn team. And here I am doing it again. I'm picking against Illinois again. And they're gonna win, and then I'm gonna look like an idiot.
Yeah, we all are gonna. We have yet to disagree on a pick, but I think our disagreements come.
Oh yeah, here we go. We're gonna. I set it up by like game times and when the kickoff is. Screw that.
Yeah.
Georgia and Alabama has to be the main event.
Yes.
So
the title of the
we're
video.
saving that prediction for last. Sorry to our boys down in the Mountain West. You are not getting the primetime prediction slot. Washington State comes into this week 4-0 against 2-1 Boise State coming off the bye week. Boise State ranks 25th, and their running back, he is still in the Heisman Trophy conversation. There has been no running back better in college football this year. Boise State's defense is great. Their quarterback doesn't turn over the ball a whole lot. And overall, they're at home. They're at home, and they should not be coming away with the loss here. But Ashton Jardy, if I am pronouncing that name correctly, he is a dog. He literally is a dog. Having a player in the Heisman Trophy conversation out of Boise State of all colleges is damn near unheard of in this day and age with the transfer portal. But that's what happens when you're the best running back in college football. I think he is, because Ollie Gordon has fallen off a cliff statistically this year. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. Boise State has the best run game in the entire college football landscape. Now, you got to give Washington State their credit. They went on the road. They beat Washington. They're undefeated. Do they stay undefeated, Mr. Lay?
Oh, man. So last year, I was hyping up both Washington and Washington State, and the Cougars let me down, and the Huskies made it all the way to the national championship game. I wasn't too high on Washington State this year, and now they're 4-0. This is weird. So, see, obviously the colors kind of match with the Broncos, so for no reason at all, and I love the blue field. I think Boise State's gonna upset Washington State this week. I think this is gonna be.
Is it an upset? Because one's ranked and the undefeated team isn't.
Well, upset.
But Boise State, their only
record-wise.
loss went to Oregon, though. So I mean,
And they competed with Oregon too, and the three of us, or me, Grant, and Drew, all had Oregon in the national championship game. So, there we go. Boise State's going to win this game on that beautiful blue field. It's going to be close. It's going to be a dogfight. But like you said, I wouldn't say Boise State has the best running game just based on who they play, but it's definitely one of the best. And I think they're going to wear down Washington State tomorrow night.
Mike?
I'm gonna have to disagree with Lennon. I think.
Ooh, okay.
Hey, we have a
Finally.
different prediction.
Finally, go ahead.
I think
Good boy,
Washington
Mike.
State wins it. I mean, like Boise State, they did compete with Oregon, but I mean that 4-0. When you're 4-0, it kind of just shows me that you are a good team, even if you haven't played that many good teams. It still shows to me that you haven't lost a game yet. You're doing well. Your defense is performing. Your offense is performing. You can score points. You can stop teams. Yeah, Boise State does have a good running attack, but let's say Washington State stops that running attack. Do they have a passing game? That, to me, I don't really know because I haven't watched Boise State that much. But, like, if Washington State does stop that running game, do they have a passing game that can compete with Washington State's defense and offense?
And I guess we'll find out. And again, Washington State can win this football game. It wouldn't surprise me at all. But
I'm going Broncos by 6. I think this is a one-possession game down to the wire.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go bold and say Boise State wins on a defensive stop. I'll go bold.
All right.
26-20. Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, we have. Oh my God, and we were hyping up Texas and Michigan. Ugh, that game is puny. Compared to this, ladies and gentlemen, Georgia, Alabama in Tuscaloosa. The first time Alabama is playing Georgia in damn near 15 years without Nick Saban. This is going to be fun. This could even potentially be a national championship preview.
Yes.
Unfortunately. Disgusting, I know.
No.
I, too, don't want to see Jalen Milroe versus Carson Beck in a championship
Oh,
game.
God, no. But, yes, you're definitely correct. It can't be.
I got to say this, and I'll go first. Oh, man. Georgia was undefeated for 2 straight years, and Alabama went into the college football playoffs and eliminated them in an instant classic. I'm going to say that the Bulldogs are, 1, pretty pissed off, but 2, not only is that defense ferocious, but Carson Beck is getting more and more confident each week. The only game Carson Beck really looked bad was the Kentucky game. Every other game this season, he has looked good. But that's also, Kentucky was the best defense you've played before this week. So what does that tell you? I'm not sure. But I'm going to go Bulldogs win by 3, 27-24. Kirby Smart is going to do just enough to outcoach Alabama. This is going to be a fantastic game. And I'm going to go with whoever has the ball last wins. I think that will be Georgia.
I'm going to have to go Bama here. Like Grant said, Georgia is most likely going to come in pissed off, and Bama does not have Nick Saban anymore, and Georgia still does have Kirby Smart, and Kirby Smart is a better coach than, I forget who Bama has.
The Washington coach from last year.
Still a good coach, but Kirby Smart is, I would say most people would say is better, but Bama, I think, just has a better team overall. I think Jalen Milroe is better than Carson Beck. The wide receiver room they have, even with the 17-year-old they have, is great. That defense is just dominating everyone that they have played so far. I think Bama just has the weapons and the defense to stop Georgia just enough to where they can pull out the win.
Whew. Oh, this is going to pain me down to my core picking this one.
I know. We both equally hate both teams. We got to pick one.
History shows Alabama has dominated Georgia in the regular season and the postseason. But again, who was the coach? Nick Saban.
Exactly.
Where's Nick Saban on College game day? Picking games. This is going to be an instant classic game again. And, since I can't say it, I'm going to let let's just. But unlike Pat McAfee, I'm not picking Alabama.
I was waiting for it, bro. I was waiting for it.
Give me the Bulldogs. Close. This Kirby Smart, I do believe, is also a better coach than Kalen DeVore. However, Bama has a pretty fairly even, maybe slightly better talent than Georgia does. Now, this game in Tuscaloosa obviously gives Bama the edge, but again, I'm going with Grant. Georgia's pissed off. History, everybody's down. Georgia had the last time Georgia won in Tuscaloosa, Matthew Stafford was the quarterback. So
that's crazy. Wild.
Well, they also haven't really played in the regular season a lot because it's the East and the West. But when this game was brought on the schedule in the regular season, I was so excited when I watched the SEC drop their conference game. I really hope this lives up to the hype, and I hope it shouldn't be a blowout either way. This should be down, maybe a few overtimes if we get lucky. But 7:30 tomorrow night, I will be sitting on my couch watching this game and hoping they both lose.
7:30. If you don't watch this game, low key, I'm gonna be honest, you're a fake college football fan.
Yes, like this.
Unless you have your specific number one team playing in the same time spot, stop what you're doing. Take 3.5 hours out of your night and watch what will be nothing short of a magnificent piece of artwork.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Look at I'm being descriptive. I'm calling games pieces of artwork now. Cinema. Yeah.
Yes. I'll have the popcorn ready and some Pepsi or Coke or Probably Mountain Dew.
Probably Mountain Dew. We already know that's our go-to here. Yeah. All three of us, weirdly enough, is our go-to. Oh. That's funny. Anyway,
I like him already. That's good.
Yeah. He gets Mike's good people. Mike, thank you so much for coming on. Man, we were gonna roll with us two again, but Mike's been chilling out with me. He's excited to watch the Miami Hurricanes start the game pretty much right now. So I was like, you want to know what? You just want to talk about it? So we're going to wrap up this video. Mike, how much is Miami winning by tonight?
Virginia Tech is always a weird team. They always have like a good roster, but they never perform well, which is just oddly enough. So I would say by 21, I think.
Oh, okay. Miami wins by 21. I think that's fair. I'll go 21 as well. I think that's a fair estimate.
I don't know the exact score. I don't really have a prediction for that because I'm just new into college football. So I know there's a lot of high scoring games, but not completely enough. But I think they will win by 21.
Like probably a 42-21 type game, probably.
Yeah, around that.
Yeah, I think Virginia Tech's going to need Michael Vick back in college to have a chance in this game. So as much as it pains me, and we just had a major hurricane come through the state, I'm going to pick the Miami Hurricane.
Down. Screw them. Anyway.
I agree. Go Hokies, but Miami's going to win this game.
Yeah, well, what a shocker. Sometimes these games are too easy to predict. And then I say that, and then Virginia Tech wins. And I'm like, oh, remember when we were making fun of Virginia Tech at the end of last week's episode? Oh, boy. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. Enjoy week 5 of your college football season. And again, no excuse. Saturday, 7:30 Eastern time, 6:30 Alabama time, 4:30. You get the point. Just watch Georgia, Alabama. You're doing yourself a disservice if you don't. Watch this game be a 40-point blowout, and oh dear, not looking smart is kind of becoming the norm for this show. I mean, we had picking Oklahoma over Tennessee. We have freaking Oregon State beating Oregon. I mean, we go all over the place.
We have South Florida beating Alabama, and Miami.
That was you and Drew.
I picked Alabama. No, I picked Alabama.
Miami,
I picked Bama to win. I did pick South Florida to beat Miami that Sunday.
That was bewildering.
Yeah, that was bad.
Bro, Drew's understandable because he's got to support his squad, just like me picking Boston College over Missouri, but
which almost happened.
And then, bro. You were bewildering me last week when you were picking South Florida.
My upset started out so good, and I've just gone downhill. So this was my first week in a long time picking with actually making the right prediction. So, or at least what I really think is going to happen. So,
interesting, Mike. We'll give you a shout out next week if Alabama does win. You would technically be the only one to get that correct. Drew picked Georgia, right? I'm pretty sure he did.
Drew picked Bama. Drew picked Bama.
Drew picked Bama, really?
Yeah, he picked Ole Miss.
Drew picked Ole Miss, Louisville, Penn State. Oh, he did pick Alabama and Boise State. Woo! Hopefully, Drew will be on next week so we can get his explanation as to why. Yeah. All right. Wow. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy week 5 of your college football season. I'm Grant Flood along with Lennon Lay and Michael Cartosa saying enjoy the rest of your evening. Go watch some college football. Miami's on right now. Syracuse is on right now. We got some games on. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. See you next week. Just got to film earlier in the week so I can get some clips back on the social media page. But game alerts will be posted tomorrow. No worries about that. And see you guys next week for episode 7.